everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Keep Pounding _TV. I'm your host, Grande, Gato, Austin, known as TheBigKatt. Today we're taking an in-depth look at the 2019 Carolina Panthers defensive strategy. This is going to be a good one, y'all. But first, one quick question. Do you love the Carolina Panthers like I love the Carolina Panthers? Yes? No? Maybe? Are you undercover closet fan? Do you like the Carolina Panthers? If you like the Carolina Panthers, give me that. Just give me that. Alright, so again, I put this question up on YouTube, what you want to do, so I'm going through the list. And guess what? I need you to go into more detail about the Carolina Panthers strategy. So I'm doing a two-part video. I'm doing one on offense, I'm doing one on defense. This is the defensive side. Let's get into it. All right, my cool cats, get your paws up if you're rocking with the Big Cat. We're finna take y'all to school today. Listen, I'm gonna show you guys a copy of the Bears versus the Rams tape to show you a little bit how we're gonna use the 3-4 in the nickel defense in our strategy. I didn't necessarily want to show you guys this clip because I was gonna save for week 1, where I give you guys actually like a study guide or something like that. But it's cool, whatever. I'm gonna break it down to you how we're gonna use their 3-4, their nickel kind of scheme to similar to our advantage. Now, surprisingly, a lot of people are really talking about how the 3-4 is going to be dynamic, and it is. Trust me, it is. But don't forget, this nickel can be just as funky, just as delectable, just as sensational as the 3-4. If you look up on your screen, the first play we got 2 defensive tackles, we got 2 stand-up ends, we got 2 linebackers, and we also got 3 corners, 2 safeties. All right, so they're playing nickel. Now, what I like about this is they took out a linebacker and they got a cornerback for the third linebacker, which is the nickelback, all right? So the nickelback and that defensive end you have right here, he's going to be helping out to guard the tight end. That's right, I didn't stutter. The defensive end will be guarding the tight end when he goes out into the passing route, but don't worry, you have the nickelback there for coverage, okay? Now, the safety in this formation right here, you have to win one-on-one. There's a lot of opportunity when it comes to this nickel defense. Not only the nickel defense, the 3-4 defense, that the safeties, the secondary has to win one-on-one, cornerbacks and all. So that's going to be a big part of that. Let's roll the clip. If you see right here, they're going to fan out. But up top, they have a safety blitzing. He walks up blitz. A corner is one-on-one with him. The corner has to win that. The corner has to win that. And guess what? If you live by pressure, you die by pressure. So if you don't get that, and that cornerback doesn't, if he puts that ball on the money, guess what? That could be a touchdown. But they're relying on pressure from the safety. Also, they're relying on pressure from the defensive line, and it came through this time. So it's a dangerous game, man. This can be very beneficial to us, and I can honestly see, like I said, Mario Addison and that guarding the tight end with the nickelback. That's just what Javian Elliott's gonna do. Javian Elliott is probably gonna be that nickelback, or Crockwell, or Golden, or whoever the hell we put there. That nickelback is going to be there to help out with that defensive end when it's time to guard running backs and tight ends out of the backfield. But ultimately, what makes this thing go is defensive line pressure followed by excellent secondary play. You got to win your one-on-ones. When your defensive line is putting pressure, are you going to jump the route? Are you going to challenge the pass? That's the big difference. If you're not getting sacks, but you're getting pressure, but he's still able to get the ball off, will your secondary make the play? Will they jump up, jump the route? Will they be able to knock it down when they got help from the defensive line? That's the $1,000,000 question. And right here, like I said, you live by the pressure, you die by the pressure. It works out on this play. The second strategy for the Carolina Panthers 2019 is the 3-4 defense, stopping the run. Let me show you guys something up here. If you look at this formation, they have 3 defensive tackles on the line of scrimmage. This is a 3-4, by the way. 3 defensive tackles. Outside of those 3 defensive tackles, they had 2 defensive ends playing linebacker. They're stand-up linebacker. This shit is like demonic kind of shit, bro. Look, they got 3 defensive line. They got defensive end playing linebackers, and then they got 2 linebackers in the middle. This is so beefy, man. This is the nightmare. This is the nightmare on Main Street right here. 3 defensive linemen, two defensive ends that are playing outside linebackers, and then you got 2 actual linebackers that are playing in the middle. And guess what? They're here to stop the run. If you look up on the screen, interior pressure with these defensive tackles means the world, okay? If you got a 3-4 defense, go look on NFL.com or wherever you get your information from. Go look and see a team that ran a 3-4 defense, and they struggled in a 3-4 defense. I guarantee you that team that struggled in the 3-4 defense was because of they weren't stopping the run. Right here on the screen, you see get excellent pressure right here. And the reason why you have 2 defensive ends sitting outside of 3 defensive tackles that are actually kind of like linebacker defensive end, which will be Brian Burns, Christian Miller, Mario Addison will also be in there as well, and the rest of the game. But the reason why you do that is because in case they do a toss, in case they do a screen, in case they do some kind of short pass out in the flats. Now the reason why that's important is you got speed to cover that. Now if they just went with a 4-man front with just all defensive tackles, there's no speed on them ends. So they kind of protect them ends with them speed / linebacker / defensive end. But this is really a run stopping formation right here. 3D tacks, defensive end / linebacker, hybrid ends. And like I said, you got speed to stop the screen, the flats and stuff out there. And what LA Rams try to do to the Bears, they try to hit them with these screen routes, they try to hit them with crossing routes, and they try to establish the run. They couldn't establish the run. They had to abandon that shit real early. Then they went to the crossing routes. The crossing route was semi-effective, and then they tried to do the screen, but the pressure on the screens was too great. So they literally played the whole game doing crossing routes. And I expect for them to do that similar kind of attack against us. So I want to show you guys, man, this thing is so freaking good. The way they run this nickel defense, very exotic. Up here on your screen, they literally take they got 2 defensive tackles, and they got a defensive end, and they shift them all the way to the far right side of the line, okay? So they're baiting them in, okay? They're going to generate as much pressure as they can with those 3 defensive linemen. And guess what? On the opposite side of the line, they have a defensive end, and guess who's behind him? Another defensive end. It's a fucking party here. Listen, we got a defensive end behind another defensive end who's playing linebacker / defensive end. Khalil Mack rushes, he generates the pressure. Guess what the other defensive end does? He drops back and he makes the play. Even though the cornerback makes this interception here, if the defensive end doesn't bump this receiver off the route, the timing probably would have been perfect. These are the kind of plays that you're going to be looking for the Carolina Panthers defensive end to make. Alright? This is how crucial this is. He bumps him off his route, he slows him down just that quick. And guess what happens? Interception. This is how everything works like a chain. You do your job up front, you do your job behind, then the secondary cleans it up. Opportunity is going to be there for your secondary, your corners, your safety. Opportunity is going to be there long as the defensive line does their job. So I want to reiterate this again. The plan for us in a nickel defense, just as well as a 3-4, we're going to have defensive end guard running backs. We're going to have defensive end / linebackers guard receivers. Yes, receivers. We're going to have defensive end / linebackers guard tight ends, okay? On this play right here, this is a beautiful job by Khalil Mack, one of the best defensive ends in the league. He knows he has to guard this screen play right here, but he doesn't make it so obvious. This is brilliant shit right here, okay? What he does is he acts like he's finna come with a hard rush, and guess what? At the last second, he fans out. Pressure's too great. He overthrows him, golfs overthrows him. This is what Carolina need and will do this year. If the defensive line coach is watching, the linebacker coach watching, this is how I expect. I'm pretty sure you probably expect the same when it comes to stopping screen, stopping flats. But we got to have that kind of talent on the end. We're really going to see who boys the men. And I don't mean the rap artists or the R&B artists. We're going to see who boys the men, because you're going to have some real athletic wide receivers and running backs and tight ends that we're going to have to shut down with defensive end / linebackers. And we're going to see. And I think we got the right talent, the right personnel. Miller, Burns, Addison, I think all those guys can keep up with running backs and receivers, and they're going to get a chance to show it. But this is the example of another example of what we're going to be facing. So last but not least, I got to show you one of the things that the 3-4 / nickel defense is vulnerable to. Now, as I said prior, you're going to have defensive ends / linebackers, the hybrid defensive ends lined up against wide receivers. In this formation right here, you got Khalil Mack lined up against Robert Woods. I say that's a big disadvantage. Khalil Mack is a beast, and he's athletic, but he's not, athletic enough to match up with a damn receiver. He has help over top. There's a safety over top. Run the clip. If you see it right here, my man sits here and takes a false step. He comes down too late, and guess what? It's off to the race with a big chunky yard. So the 3-4, the nickel defense, it works like a chain. If you got one kink in the chain, guess what? It's going to be broken all the way across the board. He had help back there, but he's not athletic enough to get there. He makes a bad angle, and guess what? So Brian Burns, Christian Miller, you'll have Mario Addison out there as well. So these are the things they're going to see. You have to take advantage of your one-on-ones, okay? Like I said, LA Rams, they try to do screen, they try to do crossing routes, they try to establish the run. This was probably their most successful play right here, doing these little crossing route plays. So you're really going to have to work together as a unit. Secondary has to take advantage of his one-on-ones. That's what you're going to get a lot of. Okay, now Bradbury, if you have not caught the last video, Bradbury was one of the third best corners when it comes to separation and also challenging the play. So if you leave him one-on-one, I have no worry about Bradbury. My man, you know, like I said, as long as he got a safety over top helping him, he can hold his own. He's very physical. He puts his hands on you. He breaks shit up, okay? So you have to have a group, not just individual, a group of secondary play like that in order for this thing to work. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of KeepPoundTheUnderscoreTV. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you get in the comment section. What do you think about these three strategies? I think they're going to lean heavily on these. They got to get pressure out of the nickel defense. That's strategy number one. Strategy number two, they had to stop the run in the 3-4 defense. The 3-4 defenses in the NFL that don't work are the teams that are not stopping the run with it, okay? Next, you're going to have your defense end / linebackers play pass. That's right, tight ends, running backs, even occasionally receivers, all right? So you got to understand it has to work together. You have to take advantage of your one-on-ones when you're in the secondary, your cornerbacks, your safety. You got to win one-on-one. When your team is not able to get the sack, but they're able to get the pressure, you have to win one-on-one. Those are the strategies for the 2019 Carolina Panthers. Get in your comment section. Let me know what you think about these. Am I missing something? I'm your host, Grande Gato. Let the church say, die!